the stats were bad enough pre-pandemic, but we're now looking at a situation where 2 construction workers every day are taking their own lives.
You will recall that we have previously covered the Band of Builders and its Big Brew initiative to get construction and demolition workers to talk about their mental health issues over a cup of tea or coffee. Well, now Band of Builders has gone one step further, offering a free counselling service to industry workers that are experiencing anxiety, depression, loneliness, and relationship issues as well. To talk about all of that, I'm delighted that we are joined today by Big Brew leader Peter Cape, and I'm going to tell you now, I've already been completely outbearded. Morning, Peter.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Peter, good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. Before we get to the free counselling service, let's go back a bit. Tell me more about how Band of Builders and the Big Brew initiative actually came about.
So Band of Builders, as you know, is a charity famous for its practical projects, helping people out who suffered injury or illness within the construction industry. We've done a couple of projects for widows and widows of construction workers. And during the lockdown, it kind of gave us a bit of time to think and a bit of time to kind of look and research. And it became really, really clear that we were in a great position to do something positive around mental health in the construction industry. The information we were coming across was absolutely terrifying. So one of our members, Stu, came up with this concept of the Big Brew, and I took it on and ran with it. So last year we launched the Big Brew campaign to raise awareness of mental health, hopefully raise some money, and hopefully kind of be able to support some existing services with that money. And it did far better than expected. It was off the charts in scale of what we anticipated it looking like when we set out to do it. We raised a decent sum of money. So just before Christmas, I met with a counselling service, and we've subcontracted them. They've recruited a counsellor on our behalf. And at the beginning of this month, we were able to launch the Band of Builders counselling service, which is a free service available to members of the UK construction industry. And there's a link on our website, Wellbeing Support. You click on that link, and fill in a little form. One of our counsellors will get back in touch with you within 24 hours. We can offer you up to 6 free sessions, and then beyond the 6th session, we may be able to offer you more. It'll be done on a case-by-case basis. But anyone who clicks on that link and is within the construction industry is entitled to 6 free sessions.
That's awesome stuff. We'll come back to that in just a second, but I think one of the things that I'm keen to dwell on a bit is just the sheer scale of the mental health challenge facing construction workers. I know we have a suicide rate that's 3 times the national average, for one thing, and I think that's also been evidenced by the number of people you've got signed up. What is it, 50,000 now?
Yeah, there's about 50,000 people following our main page on social media. We've got just over 10,000 people in a closed Facebook group, and we have members who aren't on social media as well, who kind of get the email newsletter and those sorts of things. Social media isn't a prerequisite for being a part of Bob. I mean, the stats were bad enough pre-pandemic, but we're now looking at a situation where 2 construction workers every day are taking their own lives. 35 billion pound cost to the sector in lost days due to mental health. Something like 70% of workers surveyed were saying that they were considering leaving the industry due to mental health issues. The stats are enormous, and it's something we really do have to get involved in. We really have to kind of use our position, use our support network to make a difference.
One of the things that always strikes me whenever I talk about this is the fact that obviously the Health and Safety Executive publish their accident and fatality statistics at the end of every year. And when we see the death of 30 or 40 construction and demolition workers, the entire industry is up in arms. And yet through suicide, we're losing hundreds, not 30 or 40, we're losing hundreds. And yet it still seems to fly below the radar.
Absolutely. And all of the work the Health and Safety Executive do which is great work in keeping people safe, that only accounts for 45% of the issue. 55% of lost days of illness, of injury, are attributed to mental health. So they're not even covering half the problem. And until we really take that on board, there's very limited amount that they can actually influence.
No, absolutely. So obviously, as we've said, you've gone from this support and awareness raising, but you are now offering hands-on counselling. So take me through the process. If I'm in need of counselling, and frankly, a lot of people suggest that I am, how would I go about finding that counselling, and where can people find out more?
If Band of Builders website, www.bandofbuilders.org, there's a how can we help tab at the top, and that'll give you a drop down to practical support, grant funding, or wellbeing support. Click the wellbeing link. That will give you a self-referral form. All the information you need is there, self-referral form, and that will bounce straight through to our counselling service, and one of the counsellors will be in touch with you within 24 hours usually of you clicking that link. There's a Big Brew page on the website as well, which will give you all the information you need about the Big Brew itself, about what we're doing, where we're doing it, and what events are going on. And we're about to we're in a little bit of a lull with events because the big campaign was November. So we're now building towards this summer's campaign, but there will be lots and lots of events. We're hoping to put on 300 events this year.
Wow. Well, I always say this whenever we have a guest on. I wish you every success in all that you do, but I really do mean it from the bottom of my heart. I think what Band of Builders is doing and what you've managed to achieve so far is really tip my hat to you guys. If you want to get the word out anymore, please feel free to come on at any time. I will support you in any way that I can.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll be until when we've got some dates up and running for new events. I'll give you a shout and we'll get that out there.
Fantastic. Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure. Take care, my friend, and I'll see you again very soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
All the best.